and
I
building
love
puzzles.
that one dude who he cheats, and he's kind of like openly cheated, but he's also really good at chess. That 19-year-old kid
that put a thing
that like he might have when he beat who did he beat?
Magnus Carlsen.
Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah, Hans.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I think that's a fascinating story.
Yeah.
Because that's like you would think that someone who cheats sucks, but no, he's actually really good at chess, and also he cheated like a gang of times, and his mentor cheated too.
Right.
And he cheated to try to get a higher rating online, and he like openly admits it, and you're like, Jesus, what do you do
When
with
he
this?
was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was, not that young.
No,
Like,
young, 13 or whatever.
No,
14,
no, no,
15.
no, no, no. I think the most recent one was a little later than they initially thought.
Sure. The evidence there is complicated,
Right.
but it's similar to steroids. Like people that take
Yes.
steroids when they're competing in sports, they're already the elite.
Right, but here's why it's not similar. Because if you're cheating in a game, you're using something, the anal beads, whatever it is, that's allowing you to make better moves. That is so much different than if everyone's doing steroids. Because if you're doing steroids because everyone's doing steroids, like everyone is cheating, so there's no cheating.
Right.
But if one person is just using their brain and the other person is using some sort of a calculation and getting some sort of a signal, we don't even know if that was real because it was never proven, right? He might have just beaten them. Like Magnus might have gotten off to a bad start, and that's the thing is like this guy can actually play chess, which is kind of crazy.
And he's chaotic, creative, and so on, so it's hard to know. He's not a standard chess player.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
It's fascinating when there's someone like that just like doesn't fit into like what you think. Oh, they found like there was a guy who was beating a lot of people online, and some people were saying, "Hey, this guy's cheating. Like, I want to play him in person." And then they had a match, and they set it up and played him in person, and he was terrible. He made all these mistakes, and everyone's like, "I knew it. You were cheating." Like that's the standard. We're used to that. But in this case, no. This guy's a wizard at chess. Like a straight up killer, and also he cheats.
Well, it's
or he cheated.
To me, it's fascinating because whether there's anal beads or anything else, it's like a cyborg. It's expanding your capabilities with technology, and
that's cheating. It's not even expanding your capabilities.
No, it's 100%
right?
cheating. But like for example, if I had something, whether it's up my ass or in my ear right now, and it was using ChatGPT to like you asked me of an explanation of the war between Russia and Ukraine, and I would just tune in to the ChatGPT explanation and just give you that explanation, right? Like I think that's really interesting to me, how to expand human capabilities, because you have to understand, because there's a lot of dangerous trajectories that could take possibly. Like I did the chess playing thing, not with anal beads, but there is, for people who are curious, I discovered this is fascinating, there's quite a lot of anal beads and butt plugs and sex toys that are Bluetooth connected. And they have Python APIs. So if you're curious, you and
there's
your girlfriend.
quite a lot of them?
Yeah, they have, so you can program, there's I think it's actually called on GitHub butt plug.
Can you have them like move to music?
Or tips.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? So tips, music? What do you mean move to music? So there's a set of... Yeah, 100%. 100%. I don't know if your ass or vagina could feel that. I don't know. I have not investigated any of this, but clearly a lot of people are.
Imagine if it syncs to a song. You're masturbating to In a Garden of Eden.
Oh, that's pretty easy, actually, to do. Yeah, this is something you would 100% do. But I don't know how much interest this is. But anyway,
so you could somehow or another use that to send a signal that would tell you knight or whatever, rook.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't use that. I just used there's a bunch of devices that can vibrate. There's just like a size of. Just like the size of a quarter, and so I played with that. Have a camera on the.
How would some? I mean, I don't even know how they theorize. If someone's playing chess and they have an anal bead that gives them signals, how could it even tell you how to move your pieces around? Like, what kind of a bizarre code would you have to?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Joe. There's an answer to this. No, so for a beginner like me, so it's just like a mediocre player like me, you would use a lot of information like Morse code. You would say, take this piece, so it's the position of that piece, and move it to here. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of vibration.
Right.
For a grandmaster level player, all you need is a very low resolution signal about even just the information of there exists a move here that's not standard, that's going to be very strong. So that sends a grandmaster signal to think about this position. Like, there's obvious moves and there's non-obvious moves. And like, I'm just giving you examples of, like, a grandmaster needs a much fewer signal.
I see what you're saying.
So I would most normal players would need to be buzzing like crazy. But so with Morse code, there's a lot of different ways to compress. Like, if you want to get good at this, it's actually I forget how many bits of data are needed, but it's very little. But if the easy one is Morse code, to just send you the position of the piece. Yep. The interesting thing that I've not tested, and the audience, the few people in the audience that want to test this, is a lot of the vibrating devices have different settings, 0 to 20. I wonder how sensitive you are to be able to tell the difference between the settings.
Right, you could kind of like hover the piece of like warmer,
exactly.
colder.
So you can have information. I don't know if you can get information from the different intensities, or does it have to be binary 0, 1?
They weren't playing speed chess, were they?
No. This is the classical game, so you can wait as long as you want.
Yeah, maybe you could kind of like hover.
No, because but the way he would cheat is, I think it would go. The games were delayed by a few minutes, I think, so you can't hover. You have to. You just have the current state of the chessboard, and
right.
Because you have to have the video stream of the chess. You have to somehow. It's two-way communication. You have to communicate to the AI, to the game playing engine, to the chess engine. What is the state of the current board? What was the move of your opponent?
Right, and so is there an overhead camera that allows? Yeah. So, and it's streamed.
Yes, it's streamed, yeah.
Well, the solution to that would be a delay, right?
Yeah, but there's also probably other ways to, like, you can probably send signal on your body somehow by tapping and so on, what the opponent did. I don't know exactly how you it's, I think protecting against cheating for over-the-board chess, which is in-person chess, I think is pretty easy. They just have to take effort to do that. Like, they scanned him, which I think if he didn't cheat is kind of embarrassing. But it's also awesome. So I think he brought a lot of attention to chess.
Yeah, definitely. Which is wild. Like, a lot of people were paying attention to it because it was a scandal. That's what we like. Regular chess is boring. We want a scandal.
It's not just a scandal. I mean, they kind of are looking for the Bobby Fischer.
Yeah.
For the young American wild type of character who might be a genius, who might not actually be cheating. There might be some brilliance here, beating the best person in the world, Magnus Carlsen, over the board.